In order to lose 1 pound of fat, you gotta eat in a 500 calorie deficit every single day for a week. But what happens if you double down and increase that deficit to 1,000 and crash diet? Does that mean double the fat loss? Some people say bigger is better, some people say less is more. This week I'm gonna find out which works best for me, and it all starts at the grocery store. While I'm getting my groceries, let's talk about my starting point. I weighed in this morning at 191.9 pounds. For those that follow kilograms, that's 87.2 kg, standing at 6 feet tall. Now I maintain my weight currently on 2,800 calories, and this week I'm slashing them all the way down to 1,800. Please, wish me luck. Just got back from the grocery store with a pretty good size grocery run, and I do think that I was being judged by the other gentlemen in the grocery store. They were just looking at my cart and they're like, yep, this guy definitely holds his nose when he jumps in the pool. You will notice at first glance on this table, there's not a lot of fat, but not even Sunday school could stop me from sneaking a nut in. So we're gonna go over everything, starting with the fruits and vegetables, which took up majority of my cart because a lot of volume, very little calories. The majority green vegetables because they tend to have the least amount of calories. So I'm a big fan of frozen vegetables and fruit. So got a bunch of those. Definitely some frozen strawberries for the anabolic ice cream. I might not get full on this diet, but I do have some things that will fill other voids. So got some peppers, some lettuce, and some spinach, and of course, the cauliflower. When you're in a deficit, cauliflower presence just becomes much more known. And now let's move on to the protein. Along with protein powder, this is all of the protein that I'll be ingesting daily this entire week. Well, sort of. So when the calories are low, you tend to stay away from the dark meat, but that doesn't always mean the dark meat's gonna stay away from you. But majority of the protein is gonna come from chicken breast, ground chicken or ground turkey, which is much less calories than extra lean ground beef. So per half cup, only 120 calories, whereas beef is like 170 to 180 for a very lean grounded beef. Love Greek yogurt. I tend to buy the lactose-free version. I mean, I just like the taste slightly more. Calories are the exact same. So I got a bunch of that. I like to mix the cottage cheese with the Greek yogurt. Delicious snack. And then of course, some egg whites. And last but not least, we have the miscellaneous stuff. So I got some rice cakes here, which will essentially be the toast this week. I also, of course, got some cashew milk. You guys know I'm partial to a good nut, so 25 calories per cup. Gonna be using this a lot. And then to the fun stuff, we got some sugar-free Jell-O, only 10 calories per serving. Now I know it's not the best for me, but whether it's your head or your stomach, there's no imbalance that the right chemicals cannot fix. And then last but not least, we got some gum, which I'll be chewing a lot. Good for the jaw and also just to keep my mouth out of trouble. So a lot of us eat, not because we need to, but because we want to. We get bored, and what's more fun than eating? I'm not too sure. So it's very important to find other things to distract you from food because you're gonna lose that sense of hunger because you're hyper-focused on something else. So I highly recommend, if you're on an aggressive diet, to get out, be busy, pick up a hobby. And for me in this case, I'm building a desk. Or just get outside and go for a walk. For dinner tonight, Katie and I are making stuffed peppers because she is doing the deficit with me because we're suffering together. It's so romantic. So as you can see right here, we both have 2 peppers each, a yellow and a red, and then we each have his and hers stuffings. So underneath this massive mound of vegetables, we have 8 ounces of chicken breast in here. And now I'm gonna generously fill these things as a way of paying it forward and hoping it comes back around to me very, very soon. And then of course, we're gonna top it off with some cheese. I have been waiting all day for these things. So this is my big meal of the day. Generally my big meal of the day is like around 1,000 to 1,100 calories. This is 704 calories. And just the thought of cheese is exciting me tremendously. And let's cut this bad boy open. Not only am I curious this week what's gonna happen to my weight, but also how am I gonna feel? Am I gonna feel tired? Am I gonna be weaker in the gym? Am I gonna feel moody? And most importantly, am I gonna feel hungry? Last meal of the day is of course some anabolic ice cream, a massive blender full, and this is my recipe here. So it's 300 grams of unsweetened cashew milk, 1 scoop of Nutter Butter Blast BPN whey protein, 210 grams fruit of choice. I always go with strawberries. Half a teaspoon of this not xanthan, not guar gum. I just want it to be a little bit easier on my stomach compared to actual xanthan gum or guar gum. and then 1 teaspoon sweetener of choice, and then I top it off with 12 grams of PB2. It is delicious. Again, a lot of volume, and of course, a little bit of Walden Farms on top. Day 1 total macros and calories comes to 187 grams of protein, 175 grams of carbs, and only 39 grams of fat, putting me at exactly 1,799 calories. I can't believe I feel as good as I do on that low of calories. I actually feel pretty good today, but I know day 1's gonna be the easiest, and going forward, it's gonna be hell. Day number 2, and usually day 2 of the diet is easiest for most people because by now they're off of it, but we are gonna muster on. I will admit that last night, working late into the night, it was very hard not to go to the fridge and grab some food. I was starving, but I surprisingly slept pretty well. I had full intentions of handcuffing myself to the bed, but they are still busted from the last time Brad was over. So I'm gonna push my breakfast a little bit later into the day. I typically eat around 9:30, gonna eat around noon today. So let's go get caffeinated.
Black any more 10?
Hi, can I get a large dark roast black, please?
Large dark roast black? Yeah, large dark roast black. Hello?
Hi, yeah, sorry, that's everything. Caffeine consumption, long story short, has been concerning. You know things are rough when the thought of a cake donut is enough for you to pop a seam. But you will notice, especially with bodybuilders competing in a show, the closer they get to the show, the more their caffeine consumption goes up, because caffeine is an appetite suppressant. So they rely on things like coffee, cold brew, energy drinks just to keep the stomach full, because there really is no food coming in. So time for the first sip of the day, which is the best sip of the day. Just that head rush that you get. It really isn't all that bad though. I feel like I'm riding this good wave. I got all this momentum. So in order to keep it up, I just gotta be creative with how I fill this hole. Just about 1 p.m. and I am about to break my fast. So there are codependent toxic relationships, and then there are the depths to which I am relying on egg whites this week. So I'm not self-hating. I can just tell by week's end I am gonna be intolerant of the whites. But my go-to breakfast has been 400 grams of egg whites, 300 grams shredded cabbage, and I season it with garlic powder, onion powder, and soy sauce. Like your dad's New Balance runners, definitely not pretty, but hey, it works. My frat brothers taught me during Pledge Week that you can get pretty far if you pretend it's cheese that you're tasting. And I have never been this excited to get into egg whites and cabbage. Soy sauce is just the secret ingredient. It makes the egg whites and the cabbage so good. If I'm being honest, the late night cravings right now are real. Going to bed with a vicious hunger is tough, though I do have a few outlets. And one of those is Jell-O, which I forgot to make. So I gotta opt for a cucumber. Now, with what this thing has seen, many people would say to peel it, but I just say it's a nice marinade. So today, overall, it got harder as the day went on. I'll say right now, I have a little bit of fatigue, feel a little bit foggy, don't really wanna talk that much, just feel kind of low. But I keep on reminding myself that this is completely my decision. At any point in time, I can come to the fridge and get whatever I want, and it just makes things a little bit easier. Today has been very, very tough to say the least. I had a couple happy days, but today my stomach is starting to panic. It's kind of like it said, choke me daddy, but then forgot the safe word. I still have that foggy feeling from last night, and I'm starting to feel very agitated and just very annoyed for no reason. I got road rage from my own driving, if that makes any sense. Usually I can come to the gym and I can train fasted if I need to, but today there was no way. I had to have a protein bar and an apple before I trained. But surprisingly, my performance has been great. I got a volume PR on the bench press, 4 sets of 8 with 270 pounds. You're not gonna notice any performance drops within a week. You know, your body still has that energy, so I wasn't really expecting much of a difference with my workouts. I am just noticing it's harder to get a pump, and do more of a workout right now just does not seem really fun, especially a push day on a cut. That is something you don't wanna partake in, but we're gonna get going and then gonna get to some lunch. Workout is complete, and I already look a hell of a lot leaner. I feel like I flushed out all that water weight and all that bloat. It's actually crazy the difference, and this is like day 3. So although I look better, I certainly don't feel better. It is very close to 2 o'clock right now, and I've still only had the protein bar and the apple. So now it's time to make some lunch, and I'm having something from Greg's Anabolic Cookbook. I am making the spicy shredded chicken on rice cakes. So the recipe calls for 4 rice cakes, but obviously I don't have the calories for that, so I just get 3. The chicken has Dijon mustard, sriracha, and low-calorie mayonnaise, and then for the veggies, just some cherry tomatoes and some basil, because I don't have the calories for many more vegetables. I know the chicken is dead, but I feel like I'm the one suffering more to get shredded. So let's give this spicy chicken rice cake a taste test. I don't know if you can take my word for it, because literally anything would taste amazing right now. I feel horrific. Ever since the workout, it has just been downhill from there, like literally for me to form a sentence and even just to think. But it is now dinner time and another meal, another salad. I've been tossing salads all week long. Like I have. The only thing experiencing growth this week is gonna be my tongue. So we are making an anabolic Caesar salad and we are experimenting today. We're gonna be using some rice cakes as croutons. And then for the dressing, I picked up this creamy Caesar calorie-wise, and we're gonna mix it with some Greek yogurt just for a little bit more volume. And then we got some turkey bacon and some chicken breast. And I pretty much used a full entire head of iceberg lettuce just for me, so this is gonna be delicious. I've never been this excited for a salad in my entire life.
Oh my God, Will, wake up!
Day number 4, and I've been experiencing a little bit of deforestation with no morning woods in sight. Went to bed last night before 10 p.m., which is the earliest I've been to bed in such a long time. Usually I'm up from like 12 to 1 o'clock in the morning, getting a lot of work done, but there was no way that I could have been productive. I was just so wiped out and just had to go to sleep. In terms of how I slept, it was not great. I was up quite a few times thinking about food. Couldn't get comfortable. My head was hurting a lot. But yeah, after today, we only got 3 more days. Okay, so Katie and I thought it would be fun, since we are both tremendously food focused right now, to go and grab some low-calorie snacks. So this is Hearts of Palm, halloumi, mashed potatoes, 30 calories per serving.
It tastes like it smells. I put salt in it too.
It doesn't taste intentional.
I don't know what that means. It has the texture of tuna.
I don't think they know that they're serving this, if that makes sense. You definitely get the metallic.
Yeah.
You get the metallic from the packaging in there. What'd you get out of 10?
3,
3, 2, 1, 4.
2.
Okay, so the next thing is a Atkins coffee protein shake, 160 calories.
Smells like...
It tastes like a weight loss drink, doesn't it?
Oh, I like that.
It does taste like a weight loss drink, but it's good. It's very like rich. You can really taste the bean. Out of 10? 3, 2, 1, 5.
7.
What? 7.
Are you okay?
That was not good. Now the next one that I am most excited for, I think you are too.
Pop-Tart?
Yeah, is this Pop-Tart Hot Fudge Sundae, cake style. I'm so weak I can't even open it.
Pop in my eye.
I can't even open it.
I'm gonna do the woman.
I feel so hopeless.
There was literally a slit.
Should we have toasted it? You did the head tilt.
I want to finish that.
It tastes like stale cake.
Oh my God.
Does it? It feels like I got that at like a food bank.
You don't like that?
No, but it feels like I'd be like in The Walking Dead and I like raided a grocery store and I just found that from like a long time ago. 3, 2, 1, 4.
7.
Last but certainly not least, we have the Kiss My Keto watermelon slice gummies for the whole bag, 80 calories. They do. Those are good.
That starts to...
I'm gonna give it what?
4.
You're giving it a 4? I'm gonna give it a 2. So this is gonna be our little pre-workout meal. That's all we can actually have. I'm gonna save this for later. So we're gonna go work out and hopefully I can move some weight. Workout today was absolutely brutal. I haven't moved so little weight since my flight was canceled and I broke Pablo's #1 rule. So it's 3 p.m. right now and I cannot eat again until dinner. So I'm just trying to avoid the kitchen like an escape artist. I'm pretty much the kitchen Houdini. I'm just trying to remind myself too that squirrels are friends. not food. One thing that I'm doing right now that I haven't had to do in a very long time is a nice little game of step catch up, because I am very behind on steps, because I just want to sit down. And when I sit, I don't want to think, I just want to be. Like, I just want to just sit there and just look at the wall. I have no energy to do anything. It's very, very common when you're in a calorie deficit for your NEAT, your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, to go down just as much as it will go up when you are overfed. That's just how the body works. So if you're trying to lose some weight and you drop your calories, you have to maintain the same activity level that you had during your maintenance phase, or else you're not going to lose weight at the rate that you want. Morning of day number 7, the last day. We have finally made it, and I could not be more excited. Having myself a protein sludge bowl with strawberries that I wish was blueberries. Really starting to miss the small things right now. So day 5 was a lot like days 1 to 4. Miserable, tired, hungry. Day 6 got a bit better than day 5, and then today, day 7, I feel the best I have felt hunger-wise this entire week. I think I've like herd immunity to 1,800 calories. I think my body is just, at this point, expecting less. So I feel not that bad. Mentally, still exhausted, moody. I might bite somebody at some point. The good news, though, is that the gyms just opened back up in Canada. The bad news is it's leg day, not that much energy, and I know it's gonna be a battle. Only on my second exercise of the day in the middle of leg press right now, and I've already been at the gym for over an hour, because after every single set I have to rest like 4 to 5 minutes because I'm completely wiped out. I feel dizzy. I see like black spots, and I just feel like shit right now. It's definitely one of those workouts where I'm just going through the motions to get it over with rather than actually enjoying it. But I am just dying to eat, and I cannot wait till tomorrow. Back from the gym, and now it is time for the post-workout meal. So I've been craving a lot of sweets this entire week, so I've been making this snack right here pretty much daily, and it's helped kind of combat that craving, and that is this. So in this bowl, we have 1 serving of 0% fat-free Greek yogurt. We have 8 grams of this sugar-free, fat-free Jell-O pudding mix, vanilla flavored, only 20 calories, and then half a teaspoon of some stevia. Mix it all up, and it turns into this very sweet vanilla frosting. And then what I do is I add it onto a full container of some sugar-free Jell-O. It's a nice little dessert, tastes delicious, under 150 calories. Can't really go wrong. Here it is in all of its glory. Not very pretty, but it works. And it's kind of sad how excited I am for this. One thing that happened to me this week that, you know, I didn't think it was gonna happen to this extent is how food focused I am. I'm not a very food focused person. Yeah, I love food, but I don't think about it all the time. It's not constantly on my mind like it is this week. Like, I just cannot stop thinking about food. I'm watching mukbangs. I am just like, whenever I'm sitting on the couch, I'm thinking about what am I gonna eat when this diet is done? How am I gonna binge, and how am I gonna undo everything that I've done this week? And that kind of goes to the point that when it comes to health and fitness, you gotta find a sustainable approach to everything that you do. So no matter how fast the results are at the beginning, you're gonna end up spinning your wheels if you don't do it the right way. So I can guarantee you that if this lasted another week, there is no hope. No hope at all. And it makes me appreciate bodybuilders, because they're like 5 times my size. They are way leaner than me, less body fat, do way more cardio, and some actually have less calories than this, and they continue to do it, no complaining. It's pretty incredible. The saddest part of my day, and definitely the closest to a jam donut I'm gonna get this week. The results are in, and my final weigh-in was 183.6 pounds, which means I dropped 8.3 pounds of body weight within 7 days, which is a lot of weight to lose. Notice how I said weight and not fat, because majority of that weight is just water and bloat that I'm flushing out within a little bit of fat. Just a little bit, but nonetheless, I can definitely see a difference in my before and after. I tried to keep it as consistent as I possibly could, but it was kind of hard with the natural lighting. But again, since this is only 7 days, I do think it's more important to talk about how I felt rather than how I looked. But we are gonna start with, do I think this process was worth it? And am I happy with my result? I definitely don't. The suffering was definitely not worth the final result. I personally think that if you gave me a couple extra 100 calories, I would have burnt more fat and looked better, because I think a lot of people underestimate the power of NEAT, the non-exercise activity thermogenesis. We move around a lot more than we think when we have extra calories, and we spend a lot more energy in the gym when we have more calories. And other than me doing my 10,000 steps every single day and doing my workout that I pretty much half-assed, I was just lying on the couch. So if I had a couple extra 100 calories, I could have pushed the intensity in the gym, moved around a bit more, fidgeted a bit more, and I would have burnt more calories, thus burning more fat. I did adopt some pretty bad habits. My artificial sweetener intake went up, caffeine intake went up, sleep sucked. But most importantly, my relationship towards food suffered immensely. I was very food focused, thought about it all the time. And I'm not like that, and that only happened within the span of a week. So definitely not a sustainable approach to your health and fitness. And it was not fun. I did not enjoy 1 second of it. No matter what your goal is, cutting, bulking, whatever it may be, if you're not having fun, take a step back and look at what you're doing, because the whole entire process should be fun. That's all I can say. Everything that you do, you should enjoy it. Anything good can be taken to excess, whether you could be, cutting to be beach lean, or you could be cutting to be shredded, which is not healthy. This could be like you're doing an aggressive diet to look good for a vacation, which is totally fine. People do that every now and then there's a crash diet, which you should never do. You should never do what I did in this video. It does a lot more harm than good. I can literally barely make a sentence right now, and I cannot wait to be myself. So moral of the story is, we always say it because it's true, slow and steady wins the race. So be patient with your goals, and I'm gonna wrap it up here. Go and get some food and just be happy again. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to drop it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one.